Welcome to Combat Phase. This is Wargamer Shawn.
This is Kenny, and this is episode 229.
That's right, 229.
And this is, because I've been having to kind of like keep my mouth shut, but now we can do it. This is the Codex and Army review for the Thousand Suns. The one I thought was going to come in December, but, end of January is fine too,
It's actually sooner when they put things back. I thought we were screwed. I thought we were going to be waiting a while. So
yeah, and then this is still January because the pre-order is today when you're hearing this, January 27th. So
yes.
This is going up now. So in case you're getting this on the West Coast and it's still the 26th, things are already up for pre-order, so it is the 27th. So all is good.
Yes.
The Warriors
Exciting.
of Lost Prospero. So
sad times.
If you're totally new to this, you may want to catch up with a little bit what happened in the Wrath of Magnus, and then the going into as 7th edition was getting wrapped up with the Gathering Storm, because the Planet of Sorcerers has been brought out into real space next to
Prospero.
Yeah, where Prospero is now. So it's Shattered Husk of Prospero and the Planet of Sorcerers. So
if you read, there's a little bit of error with that, and it's because John French's books, the Ahriman, in order to get back to the Planet of Sorcerers to undo the rubric, actually gets all the guys that have been kicked out, and they teleport Prospero to the Planet of Sorcerers, and that's how they get there. So technically the Prospero is with the Planet of Sorcerers too, and then so Magnus must have brought it all back. He's like, I'm bringing it back, all of it.
He's like, he opened up a big hole and he shoved it through. He's a big dude. He's got a big staff. I do not think he is compensating for anything.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he's not.
Yeah.
Unlike some other Demon Prince Primarchs we might not mention. Mortarion! It's alright.
Magnus is definitely not as survivable as Mortarion, but he still pumps out a bunch of damage.
He does pump it.
So like the one we just did with the Custodies a couple days ago.
What?
We're recording these on the same day. Oh my god. Behind the fourth wall.
What?
We're going to start with the army itself, and then we'll do the lore at the end. But again, another beautiful book.
Yes.
Amazing. Some awesome artwork in here and inspiration.
Yes.
And just like Wrath of Magnus, you get lots of different cults that are in here.
Yes.
So they do a nice breakdown of the Legion and how it's made over the 9 cults. And of course, Tzeentch, number 9, so that's going to be a thing. I didn't expect that we would get a 9-inch bubble, because Nurgle got the 7-inch.
I know.
I wasn't expecting that, and it's not. It's a 6-inch bubble still, but except for one thing that Magnus can do, that is a 9-inch.
There is a 9-inch for Magnus, yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah, Magnus I think has 9 inches. That's
more.
Pretty, probably does. Yeah. Well, he can swell with his power, and
he swells when he's excited.
He can adjust it
just like me.
He can. Yeah, except he goes up to 9 inches.
Oh, I'm 9 feet.
Yeah, 9 millimeters now.
Oh.
So there are some big changes.
It's not true.
We have notes, but we're excited too. So we may kind of be all over the place, but
yes, I might be giddy children.
Yeah. So this is a Heretic Astartes book, right? So you have Death to the False Emperor,
which is I'm glad they do.
You got to remember to use that because I forget to use it a lot. Where you're in the fight phase, if you're roll 6 to hit, then you get to make another attack.
I wish with the rules it would have been Death to the False Emperor and something about the wolves. They automatically did better with the wolves. They have
a stratagem.
I know there's a stratagem, and I'm sure the wolves are going to have that same stratagem because they both hate each other so much. There's a lot of love there, I think.
Let's jump back to if you are Battleforged again. There's a few things. So your Brotherhood of Sorcerers rule. So you may have got. So the info you may have is just from watching that one Twitch game where they were previewing the Custodies and the Thousand Suns, but they weren't really previewing the Thousand Suns so much. They weren't like talking about what they could do. But some things came up in the game. So Brotherhood of Sorcerers is the rule. You increase the range of all psychic powers manifested by units with this ability by 6 inches.
Now, my question here is, because reading it, I think you wouldn't, is if you put Tzeentch demons in with that detachment, I think you would not have that ability. I think it's only because it says Thousand Suns units. It doesn't say
psychic units in a Thousand Suns detachment gain this ability. Yeah, so I would agree, right? Because they're in the detachment, they have to share the same the keyword, right?
Yeah, so I think
faction keyword.
Yeah, so and I looked and the demons don't have Thousand Suns.
Which I think is fair.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying if you're planning on running a mix, you can't get that ability.
Yeah, for match play, which we're gonna talk about match play stuff here, and then Disciples of Tzeentch is the objective, the OBSEC thing, objective secured version for that.
Yeah, I wish they would just do OBSEC and be done with it.
Well, that's fine. It has to have its own name for each one. I'm fine with that.
I'm really not. I'm
let's do units, and then we'll do warlord traits and relics and everything. So
you feed into my bitterness, Ken.
Armin. Speaking bitter.
He's ignoring me. Oh, well. See, now my favorite bitter guy. This is probably my favorite character of 40K. He was one of the character series. He came out with Abaddon and Karn the Betrayer, and was it Lucius that he came out with?
Lucius, yeah. Fabius Bile was later.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Ahriman has always been a favorite of mine. He just is. I love Ahriman.
Where is? Oh, it's under named characters.
He gets the.
So these are nice too, where they put them. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So the name characters they do give you with the war gear, which is nice.
He's 131 without the disc and 166 with the disc. Either one, I think, is good.
Yeah. Magnus is 445. That's come up a little bit, so but that is what it is. So Armin, what are some of the changes here? So if he's on his disc again, like before, he loses infantry, the keyword, but he gains demon, cavalry, and the fly keywords.
Now, the thing that did change from last time is his bubble of rerolling 1 for invones is gone. That's gone now.
That's gone. Yeah, for the Exalted Sorcerers too. So the ones that were the 6 inches to reroll 1 are now like Space Marine or Astartes Captains, where you reroll to hit rolls of 1 for the 1,000 Suns unit.
But doesn't it do something psychic wise too?
Oh, that's Magnus.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Armin has a 4-up invuln save standard, so when we start getting into the things that can buff it, you can go to 3-up. But he's got a 4-up, and then he can always add 1 to any psychic test or deny. So good old stuff for him, but otherwise
he casts 3 powers. Was he 3 in the index?
Yeah, he
was Magnus 3 in the index?
I think he was, but then Magnus's warlord trait that he has to take gives him another one.
An extra spell, but he doesn't get to cast an extra one.
I think he does, but there's a strategy on like the Chaos Space Marines have too, where you can
cast an extra power,
right? Throw it down.
I just think,
and that's what it is for Armin. That's what I was thinking. His warlord trait is the one that gives him
invuln.
Yeah, so he's a 3-up.
But you have to be careful on who's the warlord. The problem with Magnus is I just feel like he should be able to cast more than Ahriman. He has the same. It just seems wrong.
I mean, we just check real quick to
make
sure.
It's 3. I looked at it yesterday.
Right. So, it's Armin.
Well, we're done with him? Okay.
Anything else to say about him?
I mean, he's awesome.
Got a black staff?
Well, by the way, the staff, because I'm a geek, back when 6th edition came out, you could buy those little micro things about the Shuriken pistol. But one of them was Ahriman's staff and what made it up. And it basically told the story of he captured a demon, that's where the horns are, and he used part of his staff to build it from his Hekaba. But in here, that's new in this book, he killed a Farseer and used the singing spear to make this. Like, what a bastard!
Yeah, in the sections where they go through, like the little single page of what everything is, a lot of them have little sidebars and they talk about that. I mean, it's pretty neat. Demon Prince of Tzeentch, so this is like what we had before, but it's got its own listing in here now.
Well, what I like about it, what is different, is you get to reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly 1,000 Suns and Tzeentch demons within 6 inches. So that's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have both of those. And if you choose to make him your warlord, then you can have his 4-up invuln can go to 3-up. So.
And he gets to cast 2 powers. In the index, it was only 1.
Yeah. So, I mean, Homeboy's got some... And again, like Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, and 1,000 Suns as the faction keywords so far. We'll only get into demons, it'll change a little bit, but that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I really like what they... I mean, I like that they made him a little bit more buff because he's 1,000 Suns, he should be buff.
That's right. And... So Sorcerer, Exalted Sorcerers, again, like we said, it changes. So the skill Lord of the 1,000 Suns changes from the rerolling of invulns of 1s to reroll to hits. But what's kind of cool now with these guys is that they can take plasma pistols.
Yes.
So I think that was a neat little thing in there. I still 2 powers again. So we're the spells. There's 3 lores in here. So everybody gets Smite, of course. And then what the 1,000 Suns can take is from the Discipline of Change and Dark Hereticus. And also the Aspiring Sorcerers and the Scarab Occult. By the way, in case we forget to say it, you don't have to pay extra for them anymore. They're just included as one guy, and they're not so like they're an upgrade, but they're not like it used to be in the index where you pay like 18 for a rubric and like 33 for an Aspiring Sorcerer.
Yeah, you just upgrade them.
So now that's nice. That saves you.
Speaking of which, I'm going to mention because we just mentioned spells. Demon Prince of Tzeentch actually can choose from all 3 categories.
Yes, him, and then when we get to Magnus,
Magnus can too. Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. And then there's a stratagem which we'll mention too that lets you pull from another lore even when you can't normally get.
Yeah, so you can exchange a card and pull something else from all 3. So basically, another cool way I look at it is, my guy died that allows me to do another move. I'll just get rid of this and take it on another dude. Like, it's amazing. It's awesome. The Exalted Sorcerers too, they're more pricey, but here's the cool thing. They've got that aura buff, that reroll, plus when we get to the other ones, their ballistic skill and weapon skill is 2, which is different from the regular sorcerer. Now, the regular sorcerer is cheaper, and he's cool, and he can come with Terminator armor, but he doesn't have ballistic skill and weapon skill 2, and he doesn't have that bubble. So that's the drawback to him, which makes the Exalted Sorcerers better.
Yeah, and this reflects the prices that were in Chapter Approved, too, which is nice.
Yes.
So you can get again with the HQ, so you have a sorcerer, and there's a sorcerer and Terminator option. There's separate scrolls. Plasma pistols.
I like the conversion they did in this book with the sorcerer.
Yeah, there's that kit. I see this kit around a lot too, where it's a basic chaos sorcerer, and it's got this Rocky standing on that juts out. Yep. So I've been trying to figure out.
Well, they took some of the Scarab Terminators.
Yeah, that's his staff.
Yeah.
The conversion. I've been trying to figure out what to do, because I want a sorcerer and Terminator armor, but I don't want him to look exactly like my Scarab Occult. So I was looking at some third-party models. I haven't found anything I like yet, so I'm just going to do a kit bash convert.
I actually took an old just Terminator model, Chaos Terminator model, and kit bashed it with the Scarab Occult and made a really cool looking one that looks different. I was happy.
And I kind of want to have one. I do kind of want to have one where I drop the gun and just have him with the power sword and the force staff.
Oh yeah,
kind of dual wielding,
just a beat stick.
So the sorcerer can do the 2 spells. Your Terminator armor dude, though, so he can teleport. He can do he's in Terminator armor, so he can do the teleport strike, which is pretty neat.
And he has a familiar.
Yeah, he comes with you have to pay for it. He gets a familiar, and it's add 1 to the first psychic test you take with him in each of your psychic phases. Yeah. So it allows you to do that, and it also assumes your gender. So Slanesh might get mad because it says with him.
Oh, yeah.
And how dare... Well, no, because Astartes can only be males.
Yeah, males,
so that's fair.
What's also cool about the Sorcerer, what I like about with him, I think you're going to see him in Terminator armor mainly, and here's why. There's a stratagem later, I know we're kind of going back and forth, where you can pick the deep strike stuff. And so you might want to deep strike something, because you can only do one, or it has to be infantry. And
the webway one, yeah.
Yeah, and so you can go, okay, well, he's a Terminator, so he gets deep strike anyway, so that's free. And I bring him in, and I can use the power to... What's the extra move one? I always forget what
warp
that
time?
was. Warp time. I can warp time somebody and get him into combat. So... I think the Terminator guy, is going to be very useful. And there's a relic later on that I really like that they had in the last book that they changed it a little bit, but it's so cool because it's based on leadership. And if you're leadership 9 or more, he's double strength. So he's a freaking beast.
Yeah, I'm building. So when I convert the model, I want to have him based around having that blade. Because I just think it'd be really neat.
I'm so excited about that.
He is. He's. What's that? Oh, that's the sound of him getting hard on it. That's
that was you touching it.
Well,
I didn't say you could touch it.
See, 9mm. We're checking this out for you.
No,
we do our research.
No, it's centimeter. Oh, damn it!
Even then, doesn't.
Damn it! I know. I was
troops.
Fuck you, Kenny.
Rubric Marines still rock. I mean, they're still slow, but they're awesome. And not having to pay the extra, what would that be, 15 points for upgrading your aspiring sorcerer, I think is pretty nice. Again, he can draw from Dark Hereticus and from the Discipline of Change. Yeah. Right? So it's called.
He still has Baby Smite.
You know what else is kind of neat on here as well that I liked is that, because I always, when I would buy the Icon of Flame, I would always, which is cheaper by the way now, I would always forget to use it.
Except for my game.
Yeah, well, except for you.
You did kill my guys.
I did. I finally remembered to use it at one time and I killed a dude. But I always forgot to use it, and now it's actually on the data sheet here too, which is really nice, so I can remember that I have it.
And then this compared with the stratagem, which is nice, is you could give a whole squad of 5 the Warp Flamer and deep strike him in and warp time him and go, you know what?
Yeah.
You're going to be toasted.
In the lore, when they talk about... so one of the things this book does cool as well is it takes things that were around, like, you know, the Rubrics and the Scarab Occult, but also take things like Helldrakes and Hellbrutes especially, and gives them their own character for the Thousand Suns and how they make them or how they use them, which I think is awesome. Rubric Marines, all right, so we got all that on there. All's Dust is still there. It is still incredible for them and the Scarab Occult. So
yeah, unfortunately... Love that one. And the Sorcerers, I think the Sorcerers have it too, don't they? No, they don't.
No, Exalted Sorcerers I don't think have it. No, they don't have
damn.
it.
Does Armand have it?
No, but he doesn't need it.
Oh, yeah, he really doesn't, does he?
Well, because also the Sorcerers are alive still.
Right, that's true.
They're not turned to dust just yet.
That's true.
Oh, it's not yet dust.
That's true. That makes sense.
So, I mean, you know, we're doing pretty good so far. My favorite, and it's catching on, and I'm trying to get people to convert, but it is Zanglorious because Zangors. So this Codex adds more Zangor options. So the Zangor kits that were in AOS, the Shaman and the Enlighten kit, which makes in AOS it makes Skyfires and Enlighten, In this book, they're just called Enlightened, but you can do two different options. They're nowhere near as good as Skyfires are in AOS, even with the adjustments.
I mean, Strength 5 shooting isn't
yeah,
terrible.
but I mean, like they're like the strongest War Scroll and the strongest unit in AOS, and even with the dumbing down, they still are extremely efficient.
They went full retard with it. They went to 11.
11 and a half. So Zangors are here. They're still awesome. They still cost 7 points. You can still equip them either way with the auto pistol, the chainsword, or the blades. I'm still a big fan of the unit of 30 with these guys, especially coming in through the webway now. So you don't have to use warp time all the time to bring them in, and they still get the +1 to charge, except this time, instead of it being a rule, it's on a Bray Horn to get +1 to advance and charge, and you have to pay for that item, which is 10 points. 10 points, it's worth it, yeah. Remember to use Relic Hunters too, because you re-roll your fail hits in the fight phase when targeting a character, which is something that comes up a lot too. So I love to shove Zangors up in someone's face, and if nothing else besides scaring the hell out of them, and then of course taking a big unit and spending 2 points on Insane Bravery so they don't break and they're still there, which is always fun. And then that's always really good when you have like a screening unit too that comes up where so they can't get the character right because the Zangors are closer even though they're in combat. But the Zangors are more than just screening. They're terrifying, and I mean they hit on 3-ups, right? So you can buff them easily to 2s, and then if you have a Demon Prince,
and you don't even do a lot of, right, and you don't even need prescience anymore because the shaman allows them to hit one better, which is awesome. I mean, I think he's a must take now with these guys, and there's a stratagem in here that's. Long War, points for the Long War. No, well, I was talking about they get +1 on their damage rolls too.
Oh,
if you want to use that, but you could take out some tough stuff with these guys. I mean, normally, let's say you're winning on 5s, now you're winning on 4s. Like that's big.
It is in the Shaman. Yeah, so the Shaman's an elite choice, right? He's on the disc.
I wish it was an HQ. I'm bitter about this.
Yeah, so well, I mean,
I'm bitter. You can't take only Zangors now.
Well, I mean, if you want to play match play. So, the Zangor's got his 5-up invuln save. So add 1 to hit rolls. So, again, this is shooting or in close combat for Zangors within 6 inches, so you can move him around. He's got a Sorcerer's Elixir, so you can re-roll the first failed psychic test you make for this model, but this is only used once per battle.
But he's only got 1 power anyway.
I mean, he's basically a big buffing thing. He's going to run around and buff people, and he's just awesome. And there's a stratagem that lets you do, oh my god, like for me, especially with me running these big blocks at 30, I would save those 2 points again and throw a stratagem down at the end of the fight phase to fight again.
Yeah,
activate it one more time. Like the Berserkers kind of do.
That is amazing.
That's just awesome. So
these guys,
the gospel of the Zangors.
Oh my god, these guys are going to hit hard, and with the what's his what is it?
The Shaman.
The Shaman. He is going to make them so much better. I mean, it's amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
And you can use your prescience on some other squad because you don't need it on these guys.
I should point out too that from the leak pictures and everything, one of the artwork that's in here, the actual equipment choices are still the same. So it's paired blades. They just sometimes there's pictures of them in here with shields or whatever. And if you buy the AOS kit, then you just get whatever you want, and then just they're armed with however you want to build them with a shield and whether you got it from Silver Tower or whatever. The idea is they're armed the same. They have, but there's no shield option. There's no great blade. Nothing like that. Cultists, they have cultists.
I think it's a way to make nice twist sprays. If you want to.
Absolutely. And that's what I was doing. And then you can have a narrative event, and you might be able to have your own world goat. Yes. Although that's trademark. You can't have a world
Before we skip by cultists, all I'm going to say about them that I think I like about them, and there's a stratagem, and once again, I think it's good to integrate the stratagem with this while we talk about it.
Yeah.
But you have a stratagem that you can take a character in a unit that's an infantry, and you basically kill him, and he becomes a spawn. So let's say, hey, I got a Chaos Cultist, and I want to get rid of my champion. Now I've got a spawn unit. He's going to be better in close combat, let's say, if you need him. Or if he needs, hey, I got a unit sitting here, but I need to go get this other objective. Bam, spawn, go. And I mean, I think it's got a lot of uses. I shit you not. This is going to...
No, I think this is great. I mean, so you pick a 1,000 infantry character.
Which, why not just kill off a damn cultist? Who cares about him, really?
Infantry character, though.
Yeah, but the cultist champion is a character, isn't he? Or is he not? Am I wrong about that?
I think he has a character keyword. I think it needs to be like a sorcerer.
Oh, damn it. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm wrong.
It's still cool, though.
Damn it.
So okay, go.
Well, Zangor if he's low enough or something. The shaman.
Oh, the shaman. Yeah, maybe we could do it with the shaman.
Guys, I
so
screwed that
pink
up.
horrors
Got
are in
excited.
here as a troop choice as well. Demonic ritual.
I mean, honestly, you're better off if you're going to run horrors. Run them as Tzeentch detachment because you get +1 invuln to it. It's not worth running it with Thousand Suns. Really, you don't get the bonus. I don't think it's. I think you're better off running it as demons.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that it's all in here, but yeah, I agree. We talked about the shaman already. Flamers in here, so we don't really need to go through the demon stuff.
I don't think we need
just
to
did
do the demon
Codex.
stuff. We just had it.
Scarab Occult Terminators, again, you don't have to pay the extra for the sorcerer, which is nice. And like we said, you can pick from the two different lores. Otherwise,
They used to
nothing's
be
really
Magnus's
changed.
guards in the fluff, and they're cool. They're awesome. There's a little bit more about them in the fluff wise. It talks about their
It is, yeah.
their swords and how they got them, because on Prospero that's what they use.
Yeah,
They
there's
didn't have a lot
some
of
cool
metal.
stories about like how there's one thing in the timeline where like they drop in these empty suits of armor on an imperial world, and then it starts to rain the dust, which fills them up. And
I know that is
really
awesome.
cool ones,
It
man.
is awesome.
So the Hellbrute has a really neat story about how they make them, and they trick members of other
Astartes.
other Astartes from other legions or war bands or whatever, thinking like, oh yeah, come here, we'll teach you to be a sorcerer.
Yeah,
and
you'll be a
everything.
sorcerer.
And like their training is actually part of this duplicitous
Bonding process.
Yeah, like they're ritual. You're in this ritual, and they're screwing you over to torture you to put you into their version of a Hellbrute. It's not a Psychic Dreadnought. We don't have Psychic Dreadnoughts in this
Damn
book.
it. I am pissed
past
off.
that. We'll just get past that. It sucks, but it's not in here.
Bitter.
So, well, we're a very bitter legion, so that works out. I mean, that's in character for us. And then they make sure that this poor individual is not allowed a chance to regain his sanity between battles. They pull him back out, and they continue to fuck with him. And
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
take out his amniotic sac. It's basically an amniotic sac, and it's merged with the Hellbrute, and they say it's painful. And then he keeps thinking, if I kill somebody, I'm going to get a reprieve, but it doesn't work. And
yeah,
so
and then he gets frustrated.
Yeah, he gets. I mean, the poor thing is just fucking.
So like
tortured.
he's sitting on like a chair full of like a bed of nails, and then they take him out and they flick his ball sack a little bit. They're like, or whatever little thing is like, hey, you want to see a magic trick? Like, oh no. Hey, guess what? Your Legion, like, hey, the Cubs won the World Series. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Fuck.
They just keep pissing.
How dare you bring up the Cubs?
whatever they're gonna do, they keep pissing it off. So, I mean, again,
I think the flicking balls is pretty
Like
funny.
flicking the
Could you
balls.
imagine the amniotic sac there, and there's just a finger just going flick, 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 flick?
And you
It's
put
like,
like a-
fucking stop it!
like a dude with a power fist.
Ow, 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 ow!
I'm so angry.
Oh my god!
Okay, so the Zangor Enlightened, right? This is if you buy the box from GW. So I don't know. So there's like the upgrade sprue, like they had for the
They're gonna have to have
Zangors.
something for the auto pit.
So I think you'll be able to buy that as like the $15. It's usually around $15 whatever kit
Oh, an
that has the
upgrade
upgrade
sprue or
sprue.
You
So
don't
if
think they're gonna rebox it?
I don't think with these now because I think it's that one of the things they're going to have an upgrade sprue. Maybe they will. I don't know. But these are very popular for AOS. But so you can build it two ways. You can have the guys that have speed. It was called Divining Spear or the Fate Caster Great Bow. So 2 wounds. I don't think they're terribly great. Like they're nothing near like they were in AOS. But it's not bad. It's a fast attack unit. And so what the bow does is 24 inches. It's assault 2, strength 5, AP 1
-1,
or AP minus 1, 1 damage. But when you
that's the
I'm missing it. It's got about 8. Each time you make a to hit roll of 6 with the model in this unit, except for the blades, do not make a wound roll for this attack. It automatically wounds successfully.
Yeah.
So then you can still save your throw. So you don't have to. So like say you, but if you're attacking like something with a toughness of 7 or 8 or whatever, then that's kind of nice.
It is nice, yeah.
I mean, it's AP1, they might make the save, but you never know. The spear gives you +1 strength, so without any augments or buffs or anything, you're going to go from strength 4 up to 5. Again, it's AP minus 1, and the damage is 1, but it is increased to 2 on a turn if you charge. So these are very mobile units. It's going to be, and with the different spells from warp time or whatever, and you're going to be able to charge a lot of things. You're going to have a lot of mobility, and the army itself is typically very slow.
Yeah,
so
it's
now
a way to give them
you
mobility.
have with the Zangors being in here and demons aside, you have a lot more mobility and ways to move dudes around. And I don't feel I feel So for a while, like, at the end, like you pointed out, that when I put my sorcerers on disc, they lose the infantry keyword, and then I wasn't able to benefit from my own buff of rerolling ones to hit. But now that doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't
because it's
anymore.
bubble to hit instead of rerolls for saves.
And it doesn't matter if it's not just infantry.
So there's no downside. So there's no downside. I can move them around. So again, they have 5 invuln saves.
I'm probably going to end up buying 2 of these kits because I can see myself using the spear and the great bow. But I don't know.
When I got my review copy, which thank you very much again, I went out and bought another box. So I have 3 armed with the bow and 3 armed with the spear.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely get the rest of my Chaos Spawn all done and painted for the game that we're going to play this Saturday for the event. Because one thing it does spell out in here, actually, which is really neat, we need to mention, if you if you have your guy accidentally die on one of your models, then you don't have to pay for a spawn. But if you are going to use one of the spells that turns
or Magnus's ability,
or Magnus, into a spawn, then it does say in match play you have to set aside the reinforcement points. But it is 33 points. There's no upgrade option thing. It's just flat 33.
Yeah.
So like when I made my list for this Saturday, I was thinking about, do I want to keep 33 or 66 in there? But I'm not sure if I'm going to take those spells that would do that, and I'm not taking Magnus. So I thought maybe instead I'm going to run 3 of them actually on the table just as a unit and see how they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're pretty decent. And there is a stratagem for Chaos Spawn as well that lets you pick one of the D3 result you want.
Yes.
And then reroll as well.
Your attacks.
So,
and they did
the number of attacks, the D6 attacks.
I always thought actually that you rolled 1d6 for the whole squad, but it actually specifically says that you can reroll each of the d6 for each spawn.
It is, yeah.
So you are supposed to do them separately. I did not know that.
It's in the designer's note on page 79 for the Chaos Spawn in the entry. So there's several abilities and psychic powers that the Thousand Sons have that can transform their victims into Chaos Spawns. If an ability or psychic power instructs you to add a Chaos Spawn to your army, use this data sheet for the model. In a match play game, you must pay reinforcement points in order to use it. Chaos Spawn that you've created, each point is a value of 33. This includes all of its weapons. So the reason I say it doesn't apply when some of your guys get turned into it is it'll tell you in the text for that ability or boon or whatever.
Like the boon of Zinch.
It'll tell you that you don't pay for it.
Or that stratagem where you turn a character into...
Yeah, that's
free too. Yeah.
So...
Oh my god.
The Mutalith Vortex Beast. So this was the first of the fantasy kits, Warhammer Fantasy kits that came out that had the dual monster kit that was $85, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, $85!" And it's a really cool kit. It's available right now under direct order, so I'm gonna have to order mine because I think that these may actually go out of stock temporarily for a couple weeks while they make some more. This was brought out. This kit basically was brought back out by the team of the AOS team in 2017 and worked back in. It had a new war scroll, and they worked it back in, and it's a great model. So this one doesn't have the option for the Slaughter Brute, which it's a multi-kit. They just have it for the Mutalith Vortex Beast. It's hard to say.
It really is.
And there's a great stratagem there that lets you do this stuff. But let's spend a second on this dude because he is awesome.
His point-wise is almost as much
he's 150.
as a Mauler Fiend.
And that's it.
He's got 14 wounds, and he gets an ability every turn, which is amazing. And if you roll randomly, you get 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
He's hitting on 4s and, standard. That's fine. He's got 14 wounds, so his profile degrades from moving from 8 to 6 to 4. Attacks go from 4, 3, 2. And his vortex power, which is the number you have to roll, goes from 2 to 3 to 4.
Yeah, it goes up, actually, so he gets pissed as
it's like he's got his 5 invuln save. He regens automatically a wound at the beginning of one of your turns. Let's skip the power. Let's go down real quick. We'll skip the power for a second. So, unstable energies, this is kind of a cool concept. This model has 7 or fewer wounds remaining at the start of your shooting phase. The range of its Mutalith Vortex powers are doubled. However, it will suffer a mortal wound if you roll a 1 when the model attempts to use the power.
Yeah.
And when he explodes too, he explodes on a D6. He does
D6 mortal wounds instead of D3.
Yeah, which is nice.
Not
so you want to do the power real quick?
Yeah, I mean, the power, if you choose, you can choose what you want to do, and then you have to roll equal to or above that. So if you choose 1, basically you can't fail. Although you will take a mortal wound if you're below 7 wounds. Mm-hmm. If you roll for it, then you roll, and then what you have to do is get above it. So if you want to do this number 6, you got to roll a 6. But remember that your vortex power is plus 2 to it, so you really only need a 4. And as you get better, it's plus 4. I mean, basically, a 2 or more is getting anything you want on that table. So he gets angrier as he gets injured, and it's pretty awesome.
Okay,
yeah.
right. So you have to roll...
I just read it.
Yeah, you have to roll equal to or higher than the number.
I mean, I think you're going to see these guys used because these powers are what's good, and they have a decent amount of attacks, about as much as a Mauler Fiend. But there's also a stratagem later on, even though they're hitting on 4s, there's a stratagem that you can use that allows you either in the fight or shooting phase to hit on one better. So there is something that helps the demon engines. Except for Hellbrutes, you can't use it on them.
This has the keywords Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic, Astartes, and Thousand Suns. So that's awesome. It doesn't have the demon keyword. So we have Predators. We have the stuff that is kind of ported over from Chaos Space Marines. We also have the stratagems that do the kill shot. Like you have the Vindicator one, you have the Predator one.
Yeah, those are all the same, just like the Astartes and the Chaos Astartes. They're the same.
Defilers.
Defilers, cool.
Did you say that Defilers were cheaper or better?
They're a little cheaper, but also there's a stratagem in there for them.
Oh, that's right.
And there's some cool things because you can do things where it doesn't count that you moved and shoot. And so I think the Defiler has a place again. I'm not saying he's super great, but I do think he actually has a place.
If you have one, you're like, hey, I can use it now again.
And remember with the Hellbrute and the Defiler, the Scourge, if you have a Scourge or if your Hellbrute has a Defiler with a power weapon, they get to make 3 additional attacks with that Scourge or Defiler in addition to your Power Fist attacks, which is awesome. So keep that in mind. I'm actually going to build a Hellbrute that has both a Fist and a Scourge because it's amazing. And drop his ass in and try to use him.
Awesome. Yeah. Forage Fiends, Mauler Fiends.
I think they've got a place.
Chaos Rhino in here.
Oh, and the Helldrakes are the old pilots of the old ships. Yeah. And over time, they just warped and basically became the heart of the Helldrake. Yeah, it's so awesome. The fluff is awesome in that.
I love these guys, I think the rules are the same, right?
The rules are the same. They do have a stratagem that you can use for them later, too.
All right, let's talk about Magnus now.
Big red boy.
So, he's still weapon skill with skill 2. He's strength 8, toughness 7, 18 wounds. I think his profile might be the same. His psychic bonus goes down. It's +2 at the beginning. It degrades as he goes through. Mm-hmm. So he's got a 4 invuln save. Whenever he suffers a mortal wound from perils of the warp, it's still ignored on a 2+.
Which is pretty fantastic.
His Gaze Magnus, his smite, he does D6 mortal wounds instead of D3, and then it goes up to 2D6 as his big boy. Yep. If his test is 11 or more, there are a lot of things that add to that number, so it's easier to get to 11.
Yes, and it's easy to parry, but you don't really care. Mm-hmm.
And if you're playing with beta rules, if that ends up happening, we're not going to deal with that right now.
I hope that is
Primarch. So you can reroll to hit rolls of 1 and any dice rolls of 1 that are made as part of a psychic test for a friendly Thousand Suns unit within 9 inches.
And hit rolls too.
Yeah, so this is for hits and psychic. So if you're casting or denying, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is really awesome. It's 9 inches.
And whenever he attempts to manifest or deny a power, he has the bonus up there. So he can manifest 3 powers and deny 3 powers, and he knows all 3 of the disciplines. So Change, Dark Hereticus, and Discipline of Tzeentch, which is the one for the demons. He's got character, Tzeentch, Heretic, Astartes, and Thousand Suns as his keywords, or his faction keywords, and his keywords are character, monster, demon, Primarch, Fly, Psyker, Magnus the Red. So he can't do that. What was in the FAQ that came out this week? He can't do that.
The that demon one teleport.
Yeah, that one. He can't do that.
Neither can Mortarion.
But that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we talked about the warlord traits. So Magnus comes with Forbidden Lore, so he knows 1 additional power. Armin's got the one that is
+1 to invuln.
Yeah, otherworldly
maximum
presence.
3.
The other ones are reroll, fail, deny the witch test for the warlord. One is reduce all damage suffered by your warlord to a minimum of, or by 1 to a minimum of 1. Aether Stride can advance and charge in the same turn.
Which is good for a disc guy.
Yeah, or a Demon Prince coming in.
Yeah.
And the other one is add 1 to psychic powers, to psychic tests you take for your warlord. So, again, both ways, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. I like it both ways.
I do. Stratagems, so there's only one page.
Well, let's do one stratagem, the wolf one. That one's important. There is a wolf one, so it helps... Vengeance for Prospero.
Yeah.
And basically, the Death of the False Emperor triggers on a 4-up instead of a 6-up, which is cool. I think it's very fluffy. I like it. I like the Seer's Bane for the Arcana. That's what we were talking about. It's a melee weapon. It replaces a Force Sword or Power Sword. And if your leadership is 9 or more, you basically have double strength. And it's -3 AP and D3 damage, which is freaking awesome. There's a whole bunch of other ones that are really good, but we probably don't have time for it.
All right, so let's just keep going real quick. So what we'll have to do maybe is next week we'll do the lore next week.
Let's do that.
Okay. Yeah. Some of the cool Arcana. The Seer's Bane was what we're talking about with this for the swords.
I talked about that one already.
Yeah, that one. Dark Matter Crystal, you might have seen the game. That's the one that lets you have your bearer or unit within 12 inches pick up and teleport.
Yep, that's a really good one.
So that's a really good one.
I like the Helm of the Third Eye.
Yeah.
If your opponent spends a command point on a 5-up, you get it back, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's a really good one too. Athenaean Scroll is the same as in Chapter Approved.
Yep.
There's a really cool pistol, and then the Prismatic Staff, which I just like the name of. That's the one where the sorcerer can shoot and charge if they fell back.
That is good.
I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that is good.
So let's just stratagems. So basically, we have some of the ones that were the same, like Linebreaker, that depend on what you have as far as vehicles in your army. They have the Great Sorcerer in there. Where at the end of Psyche phase, select 1,000 Sun Psyker, and then you can try and do another one. There's a friendly
Forge
one.
is good.
Coruscating Beam. Oh, that's the one I actually really that was kind of neat. So
that is
it's
cool.
3 points.
This
is kind of like what they used to have the Silver Tower Lances in 7th edition. You pick, if your Warlord did not move in the shooting phase, what you can do then is pick 2 points that are within 9 inches apart, and then that are visible, and you draw this line, and then roll a d6 for each unit under the center of that line. Actually, I think it even tells you like it's a 1 millimeter wide.
It is, yeah.
And then subtracting one,
they
take
D3.
Take D3 mortal wounds, and it'd be a 5 if it's a character, but that's pretty awesome.
It is really powerful, and I think it's worth the 3 command points.
At some point, you pull that if you need to near the end.
Well, and it's all he has to do is see them. It can be any range, so you can shoot across the board. That's pretty damn good.
There's a fun one for Warp Flame Gargoyles for the Rhinos.
Oh, I love that
where you
one.
get to drive up, and at one point, at the fight phase, if you're 1,000 Suns vehicle, but not a Hellbrood or Helldrake, you roll a d6 and any unit friend or foe within 3 inches of it. -2 if that's a character. Then on a 4-up, that unit takes D3 mortal wounds.
It's cool. I like that one. It's very fluffy too.
It comes, there's still a Chaos Familiar in here. The Sorcerer's Pact is still in here, where if you're attempting to summon demons, then using the Demonic Ritual, you can roll up to 4 dice rather than 3.
Yeah, that's a big one,
and
too.
your character will not suffer any mortal wounds for rolling doubles or triples. So that's good. The Boon is still in here for mutation.
It's the same as what it is for Chaos Space Marines.
Veterans of the Long War. Webway Infiltration, so that was a big one. It's 1 point for one.
I wish I
points
wouldn't have
for the
called
other
it
one.
Webway. Whatever.
Well, but in the lore, though, when you talk about that, in the Gathering Storm 2, they talk about how Magnus was in the Webway, and it's referred to a lot in here in the lore. So.
Well, Ahriman got in there, too, trying to get to the Black Library.
Soul Flare. Oh, if you're aspiring, if you're Rubric or Scarab Occult Terminator, your Sorcerer dies, then they can try and essentially kind of explode for a point and do damage. Do mortal wounds to people around them.
The Inferno Bolts is cool because you can use it before the battle occurs, and all Combi Bolters, Combi Meltas, Combi Flamers are -2 for the bolt guns. That's good.
It is really good, yeah. And some of the ones we already mentioned, like for the Vortex Beast, for the Zangors, the Flesh Chains we mentioned. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this up. It'll be a bit of a shorter episode, and then we'll pick up, just because we have to stop recording now, we'll pick up next week. We'll see you in like less than a week.
Yeah, and Kenny will be speaking slower next time.
I will be too. I'm sorry.
Take care, guys. Have a good
day. But we know you want it right away, so we're trying to get it to you as soon as we can.
Take care.
Plasma crystals.
Test. All right. You ready to go, or are you still playing with yourself? Okay. And he is playing with himself.
So this will be 229?
I am watching, and I like it.
All right.
Welcome to Combat Phase!
Oh my God.
This is Wargamer Shawn.
I don't know if I can use that. Look at that.
Oh, that's pretty loud.
Yeah.
That might be cool, though. No, I'll do it again. I thought that was doing a little different. I thought
it was interesting. Yeah, I think our listeners might turn it off at that point.
Son of a bitch. Don't do it! Don't you turn that fucking thing off. All right.
Goodbye, you sexy motherfucker.